from WBNE.
Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today is Monday.
And this is Bacon and Eggs.
So get locked in a time loop.
And do it for a friend.
Because today we're bringing you
Loki.
I'm gonna get out of bed and start my day. Cook up a breakfast of bacon and eggs. I won't check my phone till after my coffee.
This week we're talking about episode 4, The Nexus Event, directed by Kate Herron. Came out on June 30th, 2021, which for us recording was 4 days ago. Got an 86% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Ethan, this one, I think this takes Loki's love life and love interests in a whole new direction. Not only is he bisexual, and we stand that, at least bisexual, maybe pan, we're not sure. But he's also like a certifiable narcissist.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like this twist of the Loki and the Sylvie falling in love with each other. A lot of people are against this.
So
I can't say I'm particularly for it.
I'd say take the narrative wherever it goes. I think if I was watching this as like a chunk, as like, you know what I mean? Like when they release like full seasons of Stranger Things, if I was watching it like that, I would be like, this is totally undeserved. They didn't develop this nearly enough.
Right. And I don't, I get a funny feeling that that's not going to be the end result, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think they're going to end up together.
I don't know. I don't know. I know that there was like a whole narrative they could have done with Thanos where sort of the comic accurate Thanos falls in love with Death herself. Okay. And they just like didn't do that. And I feel like there's a good opportunity to explore like a villain on villain relationship here.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't missing a romance from this though. Like at no point in the first 3 episodes I was sitting there going like, man, what I would really love is an almost kiss.
For Loki to maybe fall in love.
And maybe what he'll learn out of this is that, like, you can have a friend.
Maybe, but
you know, you don't have to fall in love or hate everyone. I think that's the narrative
that they're pushing for both Mobius and Lady Sif. Is that like, Loki, you don't have to push everyone in your life away. You can bring them in.
Yeah. Well, and Mobius is dead. Theoretically,
Mobius is not dead.
Loki's dead, not theoretically, dead. And
what are you talking? No, Loki is. This is where the theory is at right now. Loki's not dead.
Well, yeah, I know that, Tyler.
Even a little bit.
Also, I just want to go back a couple episodes. Just everything in this episode, we nailed chapter and verse in predictions. Like,
I don't know that we did because they didn't disrupt the Nexus event. The way that we thought they were going to save all those people, and they definitely didn't do that.
No, but I was correct about them having to be rescued by the timekeepers.
Yes.
By disrupting the timeline somehow.
Yes, which was falling in love.
It seems like it. Maybe just agreeing on anything. But also like the timekeepers not being real, and
yes, we nailed that chapter and verse.
And Renslayer being surprised about it, and yeah. Definitely excited to see where we're going with this one. Mobius obviously is not dead.
You watched the post-credit scene, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So Loki wakes up and thinks he's in hell with one L, which is the place where cowards go in Norse mythology instead of Valhalla. Like if you die valiantly in battle, you get to go to Valhalla, and if you die not valiantly, you get to go to hell.
And it's also like who his sister is personified as, right?
Yes. Sort of. It's a little weird. Hel was actually his daughter.
I mean, I guess in some stories, not in this one.
Well, yeah, but like in the story, like 99% of stories. But so he thinks he died a coward.
Well, that's, I guess, telling. But he runs into the other 4 Lokis. We've got Kid Loki, Gator Loki, Classic Loki, and...
I thought it was just 3 of them.
No, there's an alligator with a Loki helmet on.
Yeah, I thought there was just 3.
And then there's 3... There's somebody holding the alligator.
Oh, okay.
And then there's 2 people standing behind them.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think if that's how it is, then when Mobius wakes up, is like Lightning McQueen sitting there?
With a little bit of rusties, an insane amount of talent. You too can look just like me. Ka-chow.
So I think the working theory is that when Hela kicks him out of the Rainbow Bridge, he doesn't end up with Thor on, what is that planet they end up on in Thor Ragnarok?
Something with an S.
Oh, man, now it's going to kill me.
Scarthax.
No, that's definitely not it.
I don't know, something in there.
But the working theory, I think, right now is that, like, with that Loki, we haven't seen since he gets kicked out of the Rainbow Bridge, and this is the Loki that Thor runs into.
Yeah, maybe. Is that the working theory?
I don't know. That's what me and Ben and Jonathan were talking about. So that's my best guess at a theory. And we put this out before they put their stuff out. So I feel like if we can get ahead of them on that, then
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the Rainbow Bridge. I'm curious to see what happens to Mobius, like what he wakes up to, and to find out how many times he has been either reset or plucked from the timeline.
Ooh, you think that's what we're seeing?
So yeah, I do think that's what we're seeing. We're gonna find out obviously what happens when somebody gets pruned. But Caitlin actually pointed out to me that in the scene where Mobius goes into Renslayer's office, he puts his drink down in a different spot. Like there's a clear area that has like a lot of like rings to it, like that, that he's always comes in there and sets the drink down.
Yeah.
On that spot, and then he comes in and sets it down somewhere else. Like there's a bunch of little details that she picked up on that like this is a different Mobius than
That's a good
that
point.
There's been more than one Mobius. I think that's probably correct in some facet, because like he doesn't remember one of her trophies or something like that. So like she's been on assignments that he wasn't there for, but realistically probably was there for.
Yeah, like we've never seen any of her other agents.
Right. So like I'm curious to see how many times Mobius has been either reset, like I said, or plucked out of the timeline on Earth.
We also know that means Sylvie is somewhere on Sakaar is the name of the planet.
Sakaar, yeah.
I don't know for sure that that's where he is, but we'll assume
I
that.
said Sarthax. That's not that far off.
I mean, well.
I'm sorry. That was not that far off.
If I say Parthalax, what is that?
Parthalax?
Parthalax.
I have no idea. You thinking of Parthenax? That's the dragon,
from
like
Skyrim.
elder dragon from Skyrim.
Yeah.
Parthalax, I don't know.
That's a word. That's a word. There's a word out there that means something random.
I have no idea.
Sounds like a dragon.
Parthenax. I have no clue. No idea. I don't know what words are.
No, me neither. I've never spoken words in my entire life. So a lot goes on here. We see the timekeepers. What I thought was like a really well-looking, well-done scene, but definitely like from the jump, I was like, yeah, those are not the timekeepers.
Yeah, they're cheesy on purpose.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, the androids is what they ended up being. Yeah, I mean, they're we still don't know who's pulling the strings there in any of this.
I mean, you got to think there's no timekeepers, right? There's got to be somebody else behind. It's got to be a Loki above all of this, behind all of this.
Yeah, either that or it's just like a broken computer system.
You think it's
that
just like
was set up by, I don't know, Thanos or the Collector or something, like set up to do something and has just gone wild and is like pulling people out of the timeline and erasing their memory and telling them things like an automated, like in Portal, where you wake up.
Well, there's definitely like very clear imagery from Portal in this. Like I think it's in the end credits, there's a shot where they like literally show the cover of Portal with like the man running sort of halfway through.
Yeah,
that's definitely in this show.
Well, see, the problem is that the disembodied creator of all of it that has set the system up to run forever by itself was J.K. Simmons in Portal. So we've already got J.K. Simmons in the MCU playing J. Jonah Jameson.
No, so here's the thing. J. Jonah
Jameson is obviously the timekeeper.
He has the one behind
That's
all
how
of this.
he was in both Spider-Mans.
All three Spider-Mans. Apparently he has some cameo in the Andrew Garfield ones.
Does he? Was he in Spider-Verse?
I don't think so. He would have made
That's a missed opportunity.
Made a great Spider-Man noir.
I mean, Nicolas Cage knocked that out of the park. Like,
I know.
That's not one I'm wishing change upon.
You know what makes me sad about Nicolas Cage doing that is that he didn't like get to record with anyone else. Like by his own election, he got his lines and just like went to a booth and did them and never interacted with the cast in any way.
Well, he's a weird guy.
He's a very weird guy.
He's a very weird guy. Yeah, I mean, if they could replace John Mulaney with J.K. Simmons and just erase that character entirely and do anything else.
You don't like Spider-Pig?
No, I don't.
That's why my hands are wet.
It's weird. It's always weird. And not in a way where I'm like, oh, this is cute. In a way where I'm like, this is still weird. Still weird. Still weird, guys. Yeah, so J.K. Simmons is the timekeeper, obviously. J. Jonah Jameson, is in charge of the entire universe. And that's it. This has been an episode of Bacon and Eggs. Arrivederci. No, obviously that's not true.
No, I don't think it's J. Jonah Jameson pulling the strings. I don't think it's any character played by J.K. Simmons. But no. I'm still very curious.
It's Terrence Fletcher from Whiplash.
Yeah, not my tempo, and then he just resets the timeline.
Not my timeline.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
not quite my timeline.
You know, it's interesting. There's a scene in Whiplash where he says, not my tempo. And then he comes up to Miles and he says, what's that say? And he says, 215. And he says, play it. And Miles plays 215 perfectly.
Yeah.
And he goes, not my tempo.
Yeah.
And I think that's so good because it's like, you're reading the music perfectly, but you're not following the band leader perfectly.
Yeah. So Loki's not on a vacation.
No, Loki's like on the first non-vacation of his entire life.
Yeah, where he like has consequences.
Yeah, and he has to do stuff and make stuff matter. And our boy, where is he right now? He's in what we think is maybe Sakaar, maybe somewhere else, sort of the under region.
I don't think it's Sakaar.
No?
No.
Oh, I've got... Well, no, it's not. I know it's not because in-depth analysis will show us that there is a destroyed Avengers Tower in the background.
Is there?
Yes.
I watched this once 4 days ago.
I saw a TikTok.
Gotcha.
I haven't even seen the episode.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't think
all based off that TikTok.
I definitely don't think this is Sakaar or has really anything to do with Sakaar.
No, but I do want to circle back to that storyline. I think that would be so interesting. And I in thinking about it, I've already disproved it to myself, but I was thinking about the Grandmaster and his little like melt me stick.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if that's from the same sort of tech that the pencils are.
The
timekeeper weapons.
Yeah, the cattle prods. The pruning sticks.
It's a pencil. They kill you with the eraser and they use the sharp end.
Yeah, maybe it is the Grandmaster. I think that's who I was trying to say earlier.
What did you say?
I said the Collector.
The Collector. I don't think the Collector's behind this.
No.
No, he doesn't seem to have much care for any of this.
Old Jeff Goldblum.
Maybe it's Howard the Duck.
Maybe. I don't think so.
You think they're going to avoid putting more duck content in the MCU?
That would be a wild, resolution for this.
Yeah. So so I'm still on this. There's one timeline and like a multiverse worth of Lokis. Is it just Loki that gets to be multiversed, or does like everyone get this privilege? Like, are there going to be a ton of Iron Mans and a ton of Captain Americas and a ton of Spider-Mans?
No, I don't think so. Because they're all variants, right? Like, all of them. Because they said from the beginning, like, this guy's been hard to catch. We dealt with a lot of him. And so I think that clearly they have pruned all these variants and they end up in like this variant purgatory, this Loki variant purgatory.
Well, if there's an Avengers Tower there, then does, all of them going back in time with the Mobius strip mess up anything?
I have no idea. I don't think it's going to lead to multiple of everybody, though. Like,
no, because they're not going to recast Iron Man.
What?
They're not going to recast Iron Man.
Well, yeah.
It's not like all of a sudden, that's Pedro Pascal as Iron Man.
As Iron Man. I mean, they could. They've clearly done that with Loki.
They've also clearly done that with Pedro Pascal, putting him in that's not Boba Fett, that's Din Djarin.
Right. And now it's also Iron Man. I mean, this just goes back to it was Luke Skywalker all along. He's the timekeeper.
I don't think it's Luke Skywalker. I think it's Hermione Granger, if I'm honest with you.
That would be wild. They don't even own that. That's like the one thing they don't own.
There's discussions of owning Warner Brothers, I believe.
I'm sure there is, but
the mega monopoly.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I would rather Disney own Warner Brothers than Amazon continue to exist the way that it does.
I don't want either of them to exist.
You don't want Disney to exist?
Not the way they do, no.
I like those parks, though.
I mean, I don't care, but the parks are fine. Whatever, dude. Like, make theme parks. I don't care. No, I don't want Disney to own Warner Brothers. It's horrifying.
It's the Animaniacs and Mickey.
And Danny Ocean.
And 4Kids Entertainment. Look at that.
Yeah. Ash Ketchum and Harry Potter team up with Danny Ocean.
I mean, Warner Brothers could already do that.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be wild.
And the Avengers.
Right. Who's that in the new Avengers
They do a
movie?
Marvel versus Capcom or a Disney versus Universal, where it's the Fast and the Furious and Jurassic World versus literally everything else.
I think you could throw Batman in fighting the Avengers. I know the discussion always comes back to like, well, the winner of any superhero fight is whatever the writer says is the winner.
Also, Batman would be on the Avengers side.
You think?
If they bought Warner Brothers, yes.
Oh, I think there would be like at least a Civil War type story.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, if we're talking about like brand wars, DC goes with Warner Brothers.
Right. And I think you have a fantastic movie where Henry Cavill just punches Robert Downey Jr. through the chest. Not even with special effects. Like, Robert Downey Jr. dies because Henry Cavill punched him so hard.
Robert Downey Jr., the actor? Like,
yes.
Henry Cavill's like, how dare you? Or Superman is like, how dare you quit? You unfriended everybody on Instagram, you bastard.
You got to do this like 20 times. I got like 4 movies and then they booted me.
Well, he did suck.
Yeah.
He did suck really hard as Superman.
Yeah, bring back Brandon Routh.
No, just stop making Superman movies, for God's sake.
There's got to be a way to do it right. There's got to be.
There can't be, because the closest they ever got was freaking Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, and then Kevin Spacey got canceled.
I think you still like Superman Returns.
I mean, sure you can, but like it clearly is not impenetrable.
He just shot a machine gun in his eye, and he stopped the bullets.
I've seen that movie like twice.
That's the only scene I remember in the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I guess, yeah, just stop making Superman movies. Superman sucks.
At
It's time we realize it. Superman's boring. I don't
like
care
his-
about Kal-El.
I don't care about any of the rogues gallery for like any of these heroes. Like, even Batman has a stupid rogues gallery. Yeah, Joker's good because he's a foil to Batman, but like the Penguin, the Riddler.
Riddler's great. Are you kidding me?
I guess the
Jim
Riddler could
Carrey
be
and Batman
great.
Forever?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey and Batman Forever was sick.
Yes, but like
Danny DeVito is the Penguin I can't live with, man. Like, that's a bad villain. Stop doing it.
I believe they're working on a Penguin movie right now.
I'm sure they are.
And I know in Gotham the Penguin was like a big part of it.
I'm sure. But it's the same way with Marvel. Like, I don't give one half of one crap about Wilson Fisk.
Oh, I love Wilson Fisk. That's a great villain. He's human.
The Kingpin.
He's human. He like has real problems.
I mean, even watching Daredevil, I'm like, this show is great, but I do not care.
Really?
Yeah.
When Wilson Fisk sits there and looks at the white painting.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It's a good show. Just like the character motivation, I don't give. I don't care. Not interested.
His family died, and it's his fault.
I like Batman villains better than most Marvel villains. That's all I'm saying.
Really? Oh man, I disagree. I think Thanos is great.
Well, Thanos is great, but like anytime you get anything close to a freaking regular comic book villain, they shortchange it.
I feel like all the DC villains in all the movies, with the exception of Joker, it's just like, I'm big, bad, and scary, and I'll fight you now.
I like the Batman movies for that reason, though, is it's not like world-ending evil. It's not like, let's fight Dormammu. It's like, this is a normal dude who's got some weird gadgets fighting a normal dude who's got some weird gadgets. I don't know, it feels like a superhero movie, man. Like, it, and they put freaking Michael Keaton in jail and then did a second Spider-Man movie and we're like, this is Mysterio. So we only half wrote this movie.
Yeah, that was not my favorite.
Right? The Vulture was fantastic.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal, and I think he had
jail
like
for you.
I think
Captain
Jake Gyllenhaal
America,
had
your villain is the government.
Winter
It's also
Soldier
so
is rough.
esoteric and broad strokes. And I get that they were like, I'm not complaining about the Infinity Saga, but like, I also like what Batman brings to the table with his rogues gallery.
I mean, Bane was going to blow up all of Gotham.
Yes, all of Gotham. And then what? Who cares? Doesn't
the U.S.
matter.
government was going to blow up all of New York in
Bane
Avengers.
Bane in Batman in The Dark Knight Rises is a better villain than whatever Robert Redford plays in Winter Soldier.
Yes, Winter Soldier is about Bucky, though. I think Winter Soldier is about, like, Bucky and Cap, and I think what gets me caught up in the problems with it is, like, at the time, I did not care about Bucky at all, because he's hardly in the first Avenger. Like, when he falls to his death, I was like, oh no, his buddy. Oh well. So, like, when he came back, I was like, is this a big deal?
Dude,
that he's
like
here?
Pete from House of Cards in Ant-Man, whatever the villain that guy's name is, the Yellow Jacket or whatever, that's a villain.
Yeah. You think Yellow Jacket is
Yeah,
a good
dude,
villain?
I think that was great.
He's just like big bad
I
guy.
don't mind that, man. It doesn't all have to be cataclysmic.
I'm not saying it has to be cataclysmic. I'm saying, what about Whiplash? And
I have not watched Iron Man 2 in so long. Anyway, let's get back to Loki. We were talking about Batman villains, and there's no reason for that.
Loki against Batman. Who wins? Loki every day of the week.
he's
you can't plan
like
for
huge
Loki.
magic, and he's, you know, they're always like, oh, Batman has a plan, which is like not true in any of the movies, but
It's also no fun that
yeah,
way.
people always attribute like comic book Batman and animated Batman to the movie Batman, which is just not true. But anyway, Loki's a big magic guy, and he's also unpredictable, and there's apparently infinite of him banished to some hell dimension.
Yes, so it's a non-zero energy.
Some amount of Lokis that are in this Avengers wasteland. So
So what do you think is going to happen? Like, they did it again, okay? Because I have no prediction for what I think is going to happen in the upcoming movies and episodes. And,
yeah, no, I'm out of predictions at this point. I mean, I guess
every time I think
we're probably going to find out who's behind this at some point.
No, but even still, like, beyond that, I have no idea what narrative Hawkeye is going to take, even a little.
Oh yeah,
bit.
no clue.
I don't know
what their next cataclysmic event is going to be. So
yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen there. I don't know what's going to happen in Black Widow, which we'll find out, I guess, this week.
Yeah, it comes out Friday.
Yeah, are you going to see it in the theatrical?
Probably, yeah.
I think that's the only way to see
you
it.
can pay $30, I think.
Ooh, I might do that too.
No, I'll probably go see it in the theater, yeah. But yeah, I don't have a clue what is going to happen in the movies. I'm getting very tired of like, oh, this is just leading up to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is going to be in this. Like, I'm just tired of it. I mean, I'm over it, man. Who cares?
If he's in it,
cool. If he's not, which he probably won't be, also cool. Maybe he's the timekeeper.
Ooh, that would be fun.
He does have the time stone.
He does have the time stone, but they have like all the Infinity Stones there at old TVA HQ, unless those are fakes.
Yeah, that's the real question is are they actually all powerful?
Right. Or are they... The thing that gets me is they do have that portal technology, right? Where they can just yeet their way into any spot in history.
Yeah, which is cool. It's cool technology. I don't know. We'll find out for sure. I think what happens. I'm curious to see where we go with Mobius, because he like definitely bought into the I'm actually a variant thing very quickly.
Not as quick as like C20
No,
did.
but pretty close though. Like it definitely immediately made sense to his lizard brain.
Yeah, that he was like, oh.
Yeah, wow.
Well, maybe this isn't right. Wow.
So like I definitely think that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with here. Renslayer's got her reckoning coming for sure.
I wonder what her motivation is to continue to be who she's being.
I don't know. Did she know about the Timekeepers or not? That's the great question.
I think she must
I don't think she must have.
Or is she holding on to an ideal that even though it's falling down around her, she can't quite let it go?
Right, yeah, I think that's going to be the case. Is that when it's
she's
revealed that there are no
own.
Timekeepers and there's actually nothing and it's just Miss Minutes, programming everything, that she's going to be the domino to fall.
Right. I tell you what I hope isn't the case is when this is over, that it's like a super obvious answer.
Right. That like, or that it's just, I hope we don't end on a cliffhanger, honestly. I mean, I'm sure we will of some kind, but like, I don't want it to just be like, who's that?
What I don't want is for the ending to be, and then Loki woke up in his bed.
I don't think it's going to be that. I have definitely abandoned they're going to make him live out the rest of his life idea. I'll tell you that much.
The part where he gets killed by Thanos?
Yeah, where they send him back to the timeline to live on as Loki. I definitely have abandoned that idea.
They've also made it very easy for them to be like, yeah, Loki will always be in the MCU. We can recast him. We can use Tom Hiddleston forever. We can do whatever we want.
There are infinite of them.
Right. And Loki is not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely not going anywhere. I like the show a lot. I'm a big fan of this one, even though it's got like the worst rating of all of them so far.
You really like this episode?
I like this episode. I like the last, all of them actually, but I was talking about the whole show.
The whole show. I think the ratings are going to be lower. I think it's going to take 4 or 5 of these shows before they really level out to like a reasonable expectation for what the ratings are going to be. Because I think at first it was like Marvel made a TV show with this budget.
Well, over all of them, anytime that they take a chance on anything, the overall ratings have gone down on the episode.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought last week's episode was the highest.
No, it was
rated.
the lowest. Still the lowest. It was like 84.
I thought
that's 86 this week. The other two were 100.
Yeah. Well, the second episode was 100.
But it was the same thing with Falcon the Winter Soldier, is that like they did the like catching up with Bucky and Steve episode after the Shield thing happened, and that was like a 70.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see where all that goes.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
I want them to continue to take risks. I want them to be like, we're pumping out enough content. Like, I want them to they should feel safe taking risks anyway if they were making one movie every 6 years. But I want them to be like, we're pumping out so much. Let's just do it, man. Whatever it is, let's do it.
Yeah, I definitely am looking forward to the Hawkeye show. I'm not as invested in Hawkeye as a character as I am in Loki going into it. Although I would say I'm more invested in Hawkeye than I am in Wanda or Bucky. So I'm sure he'll end up being my favorite superhero that's ever lived. I have no idea what the show's going to entail. We will see entirely. Not a clue.
I know that one of my favorite actresses in the world is
you and Haley Steinfeld.
We're
You're
tight.
not tight. That's a weird thing to say. You don't know her.
We have a special bond. I don't follow pop stars on Instagram, but I do follow Haley Steinfeld. Okay. I just want that's kind of where I'm at with Haley Steinfeld.
Okay. That doesn't make you friends.
I make exceptions for Haley.
Well, that doesn't make you friends.
I don't listen to her music though. In fact, I Googled her, or I looked her up on Spotify, and every song had tens of millions of downloads and streams, and I was like, I had no idea.
I genuinely like her music.
I do. I've listened to a few songs, and I'm always like, oh, this is really good. But that is not why I like her.
Every time I come across one of her songs, I'm like, because I know her as an actor, right? I saw her in Bumblebee, and
Pitch Perfect.
I haven't seen Pitch Perfect.
Oh man,
I don't think I would.
No, you were an acapella.
Yeah, and I don't think I would.
You like Greek?
I did like Greek. I don't like Glee.
Glee is not a cappella. That's show
choir.
Well,
whatever. It's the same thing.
Well, they had instruments in Glee.
I can tell you that Pitch Perfect is going to be more like Glee than it is like Greek.
Yes, but not as much as you'd think.
I just had no desire to ever watch it, and it was one of those things where people were very annoying about it when it came out.
My question, Ethan, is when does Bacon and Eggs cover Greek episode by episode?
I don't think we do. I would be shocked if that show is held up in a way that I would be comfortable talking about it to other people. Shocked
Evan
I
Chambers this week abused a woman and ended up the hero in the episode.
Shocked I would.
I think it's on Hulu. I might have to binge the whole thing.
It's been a minute since I've seen all of it, for sure. I think about it all the time.
Cappy this week did something really bad.
Did something terrible. He's got that freaking Augustana poster hanging over his bed. Like they ever had more than one song.
They did to Cappy.
They did to Cappy, man. He was like that Boston song. That's overplayed. I love the deep cuts.
What was the name of the main character in that show?
I couldn't. Rusty.
Rusty?
I think so. No.
The kid we followed around?
No. What was his name?
What was the fraternity that he got at Cappy's fraternity? What was it?
It's been so long, man.
I don't think it had a Kappa in it.
Grisk. GR Sigma Sigma K. Rusty Cartwright. I was right.
Look at you go. So there was Omega Chi Delta was the
that was Evan
preppy
Chambers.
one.
What?
Was the
yeah,
preppy
that's Evan
one.
Chambers'
and then
fraternity.
Kappa Tau Gamma was Rusty and
I gotta
Cappy.
watch this again.
And then Zeta Beta Zeta
was the sorority.
Was the sorority. And they had Rebecca Logan.
Yeah. What a great show. But that's not what we're talking about here on this week's episode of Bacon and Eggs. This episode was about Loki episode 4. We'll see you same time next week to talk about Loki episode 5. This is Bacon and Eggs. Our graphics are by Vision on Brandon, GraphiteWB on Instagram. Our intro music is Vultures by Sam C. Jones. The Sam C. Jones everywhere you can find music, especially TikTok. Go follow Sam on TikTok. He's the best. Bacon and Eggs is a production of WB&E, which is the thing that Tyler and I do, and we're very proud to produce this show. Tyler, you got any final thoughts?
I really like this show. I think it's fantastic. I like that we do this. I just think it's great all around. You know what I mean?
Ciao. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.